So like I was saying, like today's been a bit of a slow day. It's been slightly, depressing. I got up, didn't really get much sleep. Work was quite depressing. So then, like I went to the gym. I'm pretty sure I got like another injury. So that's not great. I know, right? I know. But I think like what brings it all together is like I really like cooking. You know what? In fact, I love cooking. I've been really getting into it this year, and I always think what like ties it all together is well, like because I used to try to cook in like first year, and it did not go well, and then for like the first few years, just wasn't going well. I really got into it this year and last year as well. And I think okay, basically, I think everyone should cook because of the multitude of benefits that happen. So you should not cook to make a meal. Like the meal is inevitable when you cook. But the reason you should cook, right? The reason you should cook, because you're obviously going to make a meal at the end of it. That's fine. But the reason you should cook as opposed to like, I guess ordering a meal or anything is because there are so many skills that you pick up cooking that you can just transfer into other areas. Mainly the idea of just like wanting to get better at something that you're not particularly good at, or never having tried, like trying out new recipes, trying out new ingredients and stuff, and visually and also through taste and smell, just seeing that like actually come to fruition. And like especially if you've never cooked before, to really do something like that, I think it's awesome. Like the first meal that you cook and that actually tastes good, you're like blown away. You're like, oh, this is like restaurant quality. It's obviously not, but you've already surprised yourself because your expectations weren't there, and now they are. Like now you've got there. So it's like the reason you should cook is because of all the different abilities and benefits that you pick up through it. So yes, it's more time consuming. Yes, it costs money to buy the ingredients. Depending on what you cook though, economically that can work out in the long run. And also the time that you spend cooking is really really valuable and constructive, I think. So like you like when you're cutting stuff, you'll just get better at like cutting stuff, but also you could like listen to a podcast, but you're just spending time with yourself. You're spending time developing a skill. How often do you need to like how often do you use your hands for just things in general? I bet they're probably quite often, actually. No, hang on. No, hang on. No, okay, that doesn't work. That doesn't work unless you cook with like your feet or something. But I mean, but, like, how often do you implement things like that? I kind of see it as like driving. Like, driving is a very specific set of things you do, but like the hand-eye coordination and the like confidence and like the juggling or the spinning plates of driving suddenly becomes second nature. And I think like it's the same with cooking. It's a unique set of yeah, it's like juggling. It's like spinning plates, isn't it? Because like you got to get the gears right if you're driving. Oh yeah, you're spinning plates. You're not juggling them, I guess. Right? You could juggle them probably, but but like but like with driving, it's like you got to work. You got to work the gear. You got to check mirrors. You got to make sure you're in proportion. You got to check speed. You got to see if there's any cyclists. You got to follow road signs. Are you at the right speed? Are you in the following the right directions? There's all these things, but like that are specific to driving, but those skills you can apply in other things, like just the idea of concentrating in the way that you would in driving, like the patience you'd have, the hand-eye coordination, all those things, and you can apply that with like cooking to loads of stuff, to loads of things as well. Especially just the idea of like, oh, I didn't think I could make this meal, I then did it, and you know what? It turned out pretty good, or maybe it didn't turn out good, but it turned out better than I thought. Just better than I thought is like the starting point, and then from there you just like what you'll develop hopefully like it's just the want to get better. Like you'll improve because you'll want to improve, and then you can just apply that to other parts of your life, I think. Just like, and when I say apply that, it's not like you go, oh, I did that in cooking, I can do that here. You can do that, but also just it'll subconsciously happen because you're spending more time with yourself developing these skills that maybe at first are really really foreign to you. You don't know what you're doing, and then the more you do it, the more comfortable you get, the more you realize how long something takes to cook, or what your tastes are, what you like. Then you're learning a bit about yourself as well. You're learning exactly how you like to get things done, and you're making that happen for yourself. And it's like if you can do that with cooking, then you can just do that with other things as well. Just cook for yourself. Don't even cook for other people. Just make something, and just be happy that you took the time to make that. Sometimes it's like I had a takeout yesterday, had a takeout the day before. I'm not saying cook day and night or religiously, but what I am saying is like just the want to cook and to make that semi-regular or to do that in your life. It just means that I don't know, it's just a really wholesome, lovely skill, lovely thing that you can do with a bunch of skills that will somehow subconsciously like go into other parts of your life. And also nothing feels better than just like having a meal that you've made that's taken all this time that actually tastes good. Like when you get there, it's like, oh, we've done it. I made a cottage, like, and it's just like, like I say, my day happened. It wasn't particularly great, and then I spoke to you, which was lovely. And that was really good. That made my day better. But also, I did some cooking and I made this like cottage pie, which by the way I'm gonna put in this. I'm gonna put in this video. I'm gonna use my power of editing and put it in this video. But I made this cottage pie and I was just like, you know what? This is really fun to do. This is really good, and it like on days where I lack self-confidence or where I feel really insecure or uncertain with myself, I just feel really depressed. If I cook something, it's just this reminder that like I'm taking care of myself and I'm developing myself, and actually I'm not like as worthless as sometimes you maybe, you all have your moments where sometimes you think I can't do this, and sometimes you do a bit of cooking, and even if it doesn't taste, even if it goes wrong, it's like you took the time to do that, and it will, because you'll want to get better, you will get better. Like even if you cook like one thing a week or one thing every 2 weeks, if as long as you cook more than you did before, it could be the most basic thing. It could be literally the simplest thing. I mean, a carbonara is like the number one thing that people should be like. If you want to get into cooking, just make a carbonara. Like that's the start. A carbonara is just one of the best things to make. It's delicious and it's simple and it's easy. So what you do is you have your spaghetti. I can never measure spaghetti properly, so it's not like a requirement to make carbonara. But as the spaghetti's boiling, all you have to do is maybe fry some chicken, fry some bacon. That's all you have to do as well. Just cut some bacon, fry that. While the pasta's boiling, the bacon's frying. Maybe you cut some garlics and add that in, but that's not important right now. You fry the bacon, fry the pasta, and in a bowl, all you do is you whisk a raw egg with salt, pepper, and grated parmesan, and you just whisk it until it's like a thick kind of mixture. And then after that's ready, everything's all ready. All you do, you drain the pasta. You add in you add in the spaghetti, you add in the bacon, the egg mixture, the egg parmesan salt and pepper mixture just cooks itself in the residual heat of the spaghetti and the bacon, and you've just got this lovely carbonara. It doesn't need cream. My housemate was telling me, you don't need cream. That's just apparently that's like a very British thing. It's not an Italian thing. It doesn't matter what thing it is. You don't need it though. You have it. So like carbonara, that's absolutely one that people should be doing because it's so like it's very quick and easy and simple, and you can just do that. I would say like with the bacon, before you do that, just cut up some garlic and fry some garlic, then add in the bacon. Use olive oil for that. Boil the pasta in some boiling water with some salt in, and then just literally. With this carbonara, all you have to do, crack an egg, whisk it in with salt and pepper and grated parmesan. What you can do is gradually add the parmesan in, so don't add it in all at once. Gradually just add that parmesan in. Delicious. And it's like, for the longest time, that's all I would make. That's like the one thing I could cook, so that's all I would make, But then after that, like once you do that, you go, oh, hang on, that wasn't too bad, and I did that. And like the moment it clicks me, you're like, oh, I can actually do this. I can actually make this. Then you'll just want to get better. You'll want to try with other recipes, or you'll go, hang on, I quite like onions. Let me put that in the carbonara. Or bacon's not really for me. What if I add in chicken? Or what if I, corn? Like, you can do other alternatives. Like, what if, oh, I don't want anything. I just want spaghetti and the carbonara mixture. You can do that as well. Like, do you see what I mean? Like, you'll just get these ideas and you go, oh, but I actually like this. Well, then you realize, oh, nothing's stopping me from adding that in. So it's just like, so yeah, carbonara is like one of the most simple things you can do, which is delicious, and like everyone should be like, that's a good starting point. Now, I mean, other things to cook just from the get-go. I mean, again, like things like pancakes. Oh, but I can make pancakes. I don't really count that as cooking. But get back into it. Get back in. Just make some pancakes. That's all you got to do. And there's like, oh, well, what if you like cinnamon? Well, let's incorporate that. What if you like banana? We'll incorporate that into pancakes. What about blueberries? Incorporate that in. And it's just like, there's so many things you can do. And another delicious thing is like a mixture of oat, banana, and honey. So you mash the banana, you add in oat, you add in honey, and then you've got these little, and then you like put them in balls and you bake them in the oven, and you've just got these. Oh, hang on, no, I scratched that. Oat, banana, honey, and peanut butter. Those things. You add that in, you've got these delicious, protein-filled and healthy, energy-filled, like, just like semi-cookie-like combinations, and it's just delicious and it's super healthy. So like, again, that's like a very easy thing to make. It's a bit messy, but you have a fun time. Invite a friend round and do that. Like, I mean, just like just the idea of pulled chicken. So just literally cook a chicken breast and use two forks and put it together. Now you've got pulled chicken, which you can put in a wrap or something. Little things like that. And then like there's websites, obviously BBC Good Foods, but also like again, cottage pie is really fun to make. I would recommend cottage pie. Like it's like cottage pie is like this is just now me talking about me liking cooking. It's like cottage pie. Like here's one thing. I didn't think I could make mash. The first time I made mash, it tasted disgusting. Like I nearly didn't like. I just nearly didn't even eat the meal because I was like, this mash is not good, and it really put me off. I started finding alternatives for mash because I couldn't do it. But then I thought, let's just try it again because I actually do want to get good at making mash. And then you just again like one try, another try, and then it's a little bit better. And then that bit of encouragement that you've made yourself, you've created that bit of encouragement for yourself. You can then use that momentum and then make some more. But yeah, like cottage pie, all that is beef, beef mince, or if it's shepherd's pie, lamb mince. You fry that. It's not actually no, you don't. You cut some onions. So you fry the onions, you fry the garlic, then you fry the mince. Beef or lamb. You can add some carrots there. You can add some peas. You can add some sweet corn if you wanted. And then 2 tablespoons of tomato puree, dash of Worcester sauce, Worcester, I don't know, Worcester, dash of that sauce, and then chicken stock cube, beef stock cube, vegetable stock cube, doesn't really matter. Get a 500 mils of that, pop that in, let that boil for like 20 minutes or 40 minutes or until the sauce tastes good, until when you think the sauce tastes good. Thick it up with some gravy granules, add some salt, add some pepper, do whatever you got to do that you think it tastes good. And then in the meantime, all mashes, like I say all mashes, yeah, I screwed it up first time. It's just you have your potatoes, scrub them, rinse them under the sink, give them a little scrub because apparently that's a good thing to do. Cut them into cut them into slices, then cut those slices into quarters. Pop that in the boiling water for like 10-15 minutes until you can put a fork through it so it's all soft. Then just mash it with a fork, mash it with your hands, mash it with like a masher, a rolling pin, I don't know. Mash that with in terms of quantities of potato, like 500 grams of beef mince, maybe 600, 700 grams of potatoes. Mash that with 85 grams of butter, maybe actually a little bit more, maybe 90, 100. The creamier the better. And just wait until it's creamy. Like, trust yourself. Like, my big problem with the mash the first time I made it, was that I didn't trust myself. And then I had this gloopy, disgusting mash. I didn't add enough butter. If you think it needs more butter because it's not as creamy enough, if it's not as creamy, do that. Like, the point I'm trying to make is that in the process of cooking, you will just be asking yourself, what would I do? Or what do I want to do here? Or what do I do? Like, you'll follow the recipe stringently, but like the more you do that, the more comfortable you get with the recipe, you'll then start going, hang on, I quite like this. Well, nothing is stopping you from adding that. Oh, hang on, I actually don't actually like that. I'll take that out. And then you'll become and that's just a skill that you can put into other parts of your life. Just the idea of being sure of what you like and being more confident with what you like, being confident to experiment, to try new things. And in something as eventually as fun as cooking, imagine like applying that to just life decisions that you would make, or just things like maybe, I cooked, maybe I'll go for a walk this time, and then suddenly you're getting more fresh air than you would. And it all these little things just add up. Maybe you're reading more now because of it. It's like just coming, starting a new thing, even if it's once a week, even if it's once a month, you're just the idea of just even starting doing something. It might be awful the first time, but if you keep at it, you will just get you'll get a little bit better. It'll just happen when you get a little bit better and you'll notice that you get better. And then you'll just that want to improve, that want to get better will just start embedding itself in you. And then you'll find yourself pushing yourself in other parts of your life as well. You'll want to be better at this or better at that. Like just literally for yourself. There's no comparison. You're not competing with anyone. It's just for yourself. And I think that's why everyone should cook. Also, cooking's delicious. Do you know what I mean? It's just absolutely delicious. It's good food. All recipes, tasty, BBC Good Food. There's so many keto recipes, so many of this. Just think of something that you like, something that you think of making, and then just see what the recipe for that is. I really like a good cottage pie, a good shepherd's pie, saw the recipe for it. I love katsu curry, saw the recipe for it. And you realise, it's just cooking, isn't it? It's just a bit of cooking. Oh, I cut that thing up and then I fried it. Oh, I've made it. Do you know what I mean? I've built a house now. You haven't built a house, but that's not the point. The point is, I just think everyone should cook. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. I think it's a good thing to do, and yeah, it's fun. So yeah, I've said my piece. I think I've said my piece on cooking. Yeah, I do like cottage pie. It's good to get that.